Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. On Mondays, the late show with James Corden, Ciara discussed a recent move to Denver after husband Russell Wilson was traded from the Seattle Seahawks to the Denver Broncos in March. The singer also revealed the one part of her life that has become much harder ever since. When Corden asked about the altitude in Denver, Ciara replied, "Oh my goodness, you feel it. My last rehearsal was crazy. I was like, I need a break. We had a couple breaks in the schedule, like just take a moment and pause and breathe. You can really feel it. Going upstairs is like I literally work out for 1 hour." However, on the other hand, Ciara said there is a silver lining to the change in altitude. Ciara shared, but there's an advantage to that as well. Training there for a good bit, then you're going to be ready for the opponents. You're going to be ready for when it's time to hit the stage. I had extra wind. I was like, let's go. Corden asked Ciara if her husband Wilson also found there to be an advantage for him on the field due to practicing in such a high altitude. But Ciara only spoke for herself as she stated, I'm just saying I'm kind of competitive, so I think there is an advantage to that. You know what I mean? How could it not be? Fellow guest Jenna Dewan agreed as she told Ciara, because then when you actually get to perform, when you get to your performance, you are extra, extra. You're conditioning at an abnormal altitude, so you're like really extra. You have strong endurance, like you're really ready, added Ciara. So basically, she's giving her take on the whole thing. Look, my thing is this, and people are gonna get upset at what I say and stuff. Look, nobody cares about Ciara, all right? Your husband is in a new place, but it's always been about her to me, where people always try to put the microscope on her. Because Russell is boring. He's a good dude. He's boring. He does what he's supposed to do as a man. And everybody likes Russ. Her, we know why she's really with him. But that's another story for another day. Now I wanted to talk about this. I know it's been a while. I didn't bring this up because I was busy. But free agent receiver Antonio Brown has drawn no interest this year, especially in light of his refusal to have surgery on his ankle until he gets a commitment from his team. It appears that he's thinking about not playing again anywhere. He expressed out of the blue on Monday that he wants to retire as a member of the Steelers. He later tweeted that he doesn't want to play for the Steelers, that he just wants to retire in Pittsburgh. It's unclear whether this means he's done playing and wants to sign a one-day contract now, or whether it's an expression of this eventual intentions. Regardless, there's been no talk about any team signing Brown, who was last seen being kicked off the field by former Bucks coach Bruce Arians after Brown, citing his ankle injury, refused to re-enter a game. Do I think he'll retire a Steeler? No. If he does, it's going to be down the line. And I never really talked about this because it's kind of hard to gauge. It's kind of hard to gauge. It's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to gauge. It's kind of hard to see him retiring. Antonio Brown done burned so many bridges with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh loved this guy. Even after he did the Facebook Live thing with the Facebook Live and the incident there, where I would have been done with him right then and there. He should have been off the team. People just let it slide. The Rooneys let it slide. They brought him in. They let him, they let him get away with it. And I always felt like, look, look, man, it is what it is. It's Nobody wants you, man. It's time for you just to go away. Like I told everybody, the dude is a headache. Real big headache. Okay. Now this is an old story I wanted to touch on. The Drew Brees experiment is over at NBC. Um, According to the New York Post, Andrew Marchand, Brees and NBC have decided to part ways after the company soured on the former QB as a color commentator during their live games. Legendary NFL quarterback Drew Brees will not return to NBC after just one season as a studio and game analyst, according to sources. The decision seemed mutual as Brees preferred doing games over the football night in America studio show, and NBC didn't have many NFL games to offer him. NBC soured on Brees' potential after originally believing he could develop into the heir apparent to Chris Collinsworth on Sunday night football games. On the air, Brees, 43, had an up and down rookie season that was highlighted by a poor performance in his biggest broadcast of the year, the Bengals Raiders Players Gam. While Brees is extremely awkward in the booth and in the studio, I will miss all the jokes about his painted on hair. So, yeah, I mean, Drew Brees probably is like, look, man, I'm just finna bounce, It's my time to go, tired of this, you know. So I understand why, he did it. Okay, so he basically probably wants to have time with his family. He wants to chill. He really doesn't want to have to deal with anything. I think he's just tired. I think he just wants to enjoy his labor. He wanted to basically do more in the like the what do I call it? In the studio more than he wanted to do the announcing, which I agree with him because he probably doesn't want to travel as much, but now he's like, whatever. People are trying to say he's hinting at coming back to play, which I don't see. Brees is done. If Brees come back to the play, he's just, he's not really going to help a team. He's going to hurt it more. He's going to look like Roethlisberger's been looking the past 5 years. Drew Brees has been looking the same. So people just didn't notice it because it's Drew Brees and people are blinded by his fame. Now, as of this moment, it's currently unclear as to when Deshaun Watson will make his debut for the Cleveland Browns. However, the league may have given us a hint earlier this week. The NFL unveiled the entire 2022 schedule on Thursday night. In it, the Browns learned they have a bye week in week 9. NFL insider Jason LaCanfora of CBS Sports thinks that could be a hint as to how the league will handle a potential Watson suspension. Remains to be seen when Deshaun Watson will make his regular season debut and how long he will be suspended, but I can't help but wonder if a week 9 bye is any sort of indication. He said via CBS Sports they face the Bengals on a Monday night in week 8. There's always the possibility the NFL looks the other way here and lets Watson off the hook, but that doesn't seem very likely right now. If Watson does get suspended, the Browns have a few options. The first is Baker Mayfield. Believe it or not, he still remains on Cleveland's roster. Although it's unlikely he'll ever suit up for the AFC North franchise again, there's always a chance. If Mayfield's a no-go, the Browns will then turn to Jacoby Brissett or Joshua Dobbs. So I don't believe he'll get suspended. Me and Chance talked about this. Shout out to Chance, the GOAT. We talked about this last night, and like he was saying, like the worst case scenario would be 4 games. I don't think it's going to be no games because I just believe these civil suits are just smokes and mirrors. That the NFL, all this allegedly, by the way, in fair use act, I just believe the NFL believes like we believe. This is BS. This is BS. None of this stuff is real. They did this to hurt this man's image because he wanted to leave Houston because he got upset with the hiring process and they didn't keep him in the loop. So, in my opinion, I think the NFL sees this as BS. Now, will they try to suspend them? If they do, the most I see is 6 games. But I still think it's going to be 4 games. I really believe that it's going to be 4 games, if not any at all. So this is HDZ News, man. I do a lot of these reports, kind of bundle up a lot of stories together to save you time from coming back and looking at if it's all sports stories, I'll put that together. If it's all a news story, then I put that together. So thank you guys, man, for listening. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you guys love what you hear, you can go to my description box. Hit that link to my Cash App. You could donate whatever your heart's desire. Also, when we have a live or a premiere video, you guys can super chat now. And if the super chat isn't and after the video, is over with, if you guys didn't have a chance to super chat or hit the Cash App up, you can leave a super thanks. So, man, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for your blessings. We out. Deezy.